Hello, VooTube. Well, here I am again, full of winter cold. Oh, God, I'm always full of something, aren't I? Usually BS. Anyway, I thought I'd bring you this late on a Thursday evening. I'm probably going to... Well, I don't care. It's my channel. Speak my truth to power and let the devil take the high road, which more than likely they will. But what I will say is, we really need the Marklet to come out and make a speech, don't we? And lighten the atmosphere somewhat across the world. Yes, and do what she's there to do, which is bleed divert us all, isn't she? So anyway, Yemen's Houthis wade into the Israel-Hamas war. Now, we're quite infantilised here in the West, aren't we? The news is always dressed up as kind of something quite sweet and nice that you watch while you're eating your tea. Well, it always was originally when people used to watch that small box, square box that was always in the sitting lounge or living room. You know, what was it called? Oh, that's it, telly. Yeah. So, yeah, it's usually sort of a sound bite with a good feel to it at the end, isn't it? Rather than actually getting on down and giving you what one might call, oh, yeah, that's it, news. Now, Yemen has been at war with Saudi and everybody for ages. It's been a terrible genocide going on there. And, of course, like most people that are down at heel or whatever have beef in the Middle East, they're backed by Iran. The Wunderbar, I know Iranian people, and they're actually, you know, the people and the government are two different things. And the food, Iranian food, oh my gosh, you got to get in on some of that. I've never had anything so well. I have, actually, to be honest. I've had most foods in my life, you can imagine, can't you? They're wonderful people. I've known Iranians, and they're marvellous people. But you can dissect, well, in this case you can dissect the people from the government. And the powers that be, which seem to be pretty tribal and warry, anyway, I digest. So they've been backed by Yemen for quite a while. And Yemen is a little sliver of land off the bottom of Saudi Arabia. And if you look on the map, you can probably put Saudi Arabia, the size would it would probably take up the whole of Western Europe. So here we go. Should we listen to see what's going on? Yes, in the Gaza, they've got Hamas. Yes. And in Yemen, they've got Houthis, not to be confused with Hutus and Tutsis. Yeah, that's different genocide. But yeah, they've got the Houthis, which are backed by Yemen, and of course, Hamas is backed by Yemen, backed by Iran, and Hamas is backed by Iran as well. So yeah, we've got all that going on. And Saudi Arabia's just sat there thinking, keep out of it. Yes, so, and the might of Saudi Arabia up against Yemen.
Yemen's Houthi movement says it's fired a wave of missiles and drones against Israel, now officially entering the war between Israel.
So straight away I'm thinking, why is the Yemen rebels that are there to stick up for the Yemeni people? They're called rebels by the rest of but they're freedom fighters. As if you were Yemeni, you think, oh, they're my freedom fighters now. They can give me freedom, albeit riddled with bullets, but get me please. Yeah, so what are they doing getting involved to start with? But they are, so let's go on a little bit.
And Islamist militants in Gaza, and cementing fears by world powers, the conflict spilling into more countries. The declaration came after Israel's military said it intercepted 2 objects in separate...
Now, like I've already said, if you look on the map, Yemen is tiny. And Yemen is also poverty-stricken. They were bombed back into the biblical times over there. So, I mean, stop me if I'm talking out of school, but where did they get all this kit from? Where, oh where? Where did did they go? Amazon or something, get them delivered? So they've got all this kit. It's very interesting that, isn't it? Anyway, long story short, the latest news is they've got these intercontinental ballistic long-range nuclear missiles, or whatever they're called, and they're firing them, God, from the vast bottom a-hole of Saudi Arabia, which is Yemen. And I'm not being rude about Yemen, but it is a terrible place because it's just riddled with strife over there. You see the latest pictures coming out of Gaza, yeah, capiche? Well, that's Yemen, and that's Yemen all the time. So, yeah, and they've got these missiles, and they're now going to fire them, right, up into the air, up into the outer atmosphere, and they are, well, optimistically hoping that they're going to land, yes, in Israel, which if you look on the map, is like trying to fire a missile from the very tippy toe of Italy up into the air and hit, say, the Orkney Islands. Do you get me? And of course, you know, it's going to aim in it. It's going every day of the week. You know, we're not going to have any problems, are we? And of course, it's going right across Saudi airspace. Yes! So, it's going to all kick off in it. And we're not being told this in the news. They're still diverting and digesting us with whatever, aren't they? Digressing with, oh, should we ban the Palestinian? Should we do this? Should we do that? Listen, on both sides, I've seen some terrible things. Okay, both of them. Nothing that should have happened to start with. I hope you all got round to seeing Bassam Youssef 2-hour interview with that annoying Piers Morgan last night. Because Piers just came off as the egotistical muppet that he always is, really, bless him. Albeit he can be a very good interviewer. He can really hold people to hold their feet to the coals type of thing. But, yeah, he did sort of, he's diminished by Youssef, Bassam Youssef, who is a great man. He's probably up there akin with probably like a Jordan Peterson, because we do need some brilliant thinkers and probably some steady hands and some considered thoughts at the moment, don't we? Because it's all getting a bit bleeding out of control, VTubers. That's what's happening. We need the Marklet to go over there and spread her love and allure everywhere, don't we? Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh my God. Mind you, she does like that, doesn't she? She likes peace, and doesn't she? And being authentic. Maybe she could go over there and help the women in the Gaza. She's going to give them a voice, VTube. Oh, dearie me. Come on. It's going on now.
Incidents around the Red Sea. This was a Houthi parade filmed by
Houthi
reporters in Yemen in September, only days before the Hamas attacks on Israel. On Tuesday, its military spokesperson said the launch was their third since the conflict began.
Do they shout like that because they think that everybody viewing them on their Yemeni tellies is deaf? They can't. So just have to stand there and keep shouting at the camera all the time. Oh, dearie me. It takes all sorts, doesn't it? Most of them are bleeding here, aren't they? Anyway, so it then transpired that a lot of things have transpired, actually. That apparently Mr. Netanyahu was actually warned that there was something occurring, if you get me, and did nothing about it. So it does rather give some flesh to the formed opinion that it's about moving the people out of Gaza. And of course, what's happening? The West Bank as well. They've infiltrated into the West Bank, and they're now bombing people in the West Bank, aren't they? So you've got a hot mess going on, a toxic hot mess. Nobody is going to emerge unscathed from this, you know. It's absolutely ridiculous. All of them need to just bleed and well stop. And as for the Houthis getting in with the bleeding Hamas, never heard anything so bleeding daft in my life.
To confirm that it was behind
my enemy's enemy is my friend.
The U.S. Navy said it had intercepted 3 cruise missiles over the Red Sea.
There you go. Did you hear that?
October.
Well, our media's not reporting it, but that's what they're doing. They've already been doing it because I watch all the foreign media. I think some of the best media you can watch is actually the news media coming out of places like India, Pakistan, India, places like that. They do some pretty hot because they don't dress it up for our little, you know, delectation. Oh dear, you know, oh, you might feel feels get hurt if you listen to the news or you see something, sort of somebody getting hurt or something. They do. I mean, really, we need to be shown the truth. And then maybe, you know, this might stop. Where it's all dressed up so prettily. Oh, yeah, you see some rubble and some women crying, but guess what? It ain't your street, so who cares? Yeah, if you go on some of the foreign medias, you see what it's actually like. And I've seen pictures of, well, things I'm just used to it now, to be honest. But if I saw it in real life, I'd throw up probably. But, you know, what people look like when they've been in those sorts of situations. Or at the exploding end of one of those bleeding missiles, let's put it that way. And it ain't pretty. Come on.
28th, which resulted in blasts in Egypt, blamed on the Houthis.
Keep shouting at the camera.
The spokesperson said they would continue
Allah
to
Akbar,
march against
Inshallah.
Israel until, quote, Israeli aggression
Aha.
ceases. The Houthis are part of what's called the Axis of Resistance,
Right.
an alliance of armed groups backed by Iran, includes Hamas. They've recently released this video said to show their military drills.
They do seem remarkably well kitted out and trained, don't they, really? You know, it does make me wonder who's backing them, really. And I don't think we should always believe that it's entirely just Iran. So anyway, I've said enough. I've probably said too much. And if you never hear from me again, you'll understand why. Bye-bye, VooTube.